Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. So we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Ernst Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. We're down to 10 conference championship games that are going to decide a lot for teams trying to make bowl games and the college football playoff. But the first conference championship game that we're going to be talking about is the Conference USA championship game. That will be at 7 o'clock on Friday night on CBS Sports Network between the New Mexico State Aggies traveling on the road to the Liberty Flames. These smaller conferences do have the team with the better record playing on their own field, so Liberty has the home field designation. So New Mexico State, they've already lost to Liberty this season, and they have a bad loss to Hawaii on their resume, but they started to play better football toward the end of the season by beating the Auburn Tigers in what was one of the biggest shockers of the season. Auburn had actually a decent year. They went 500 in a rugged SEC, but the New Mexico State Aggies were somehow able to knock them off and get that big win, and then they were able to beat Jacksonville State in the final game of the regular season to show that that wasn't a fluke, and they were able to string together back-to-back good performances. Both these teams have good quarterbacks in Diego Pavia for New Mexico State and Kaidon Salters for the Liberty Flame, but Liberty also has a good running game as well, and their defense seems to be pretty tough. New Mexico State, like I said, they played better down the stretch of the season. Can they get revenge on the Liberty Flame and win? The bettors, they have Liberty as a 10-point favorite, but me and Will and D, we break down the Conference USA championship game. It should be a good one, even if it is overshadowed by the Oregon versus Washington Pac-12 championship game. But we break down whether we believe that Liberty will beat New Mexico State for the second straight time this season, for Liberty to stay undefeated, move to 13-0 on the year, which would be a fantastic first season for Jamey Chadwell as the head coach of the Liberty Flame, or whether we believe that New Mexico State can get revenge on Liberty and be able to continue to show the college football world that they are for real after beating Auburn, and that the Auburn win was definitely not a fluke. And we're down to 10 games. 10 games before the bowls and the playoffs begin. You got the conference championship game starting on Friday in Conference USA. New Mexico State and Liberty. And Liberty is favored by 10 points. They are not backing the bettors are not backing the team that beat Auburn. That's kind of shocking. It's not a bit of a closer spread, especially because Liberty has had a couple performances this year where they did not look that good, but they were able to win. I guess just being undefeated gives bettors confidence. But I will say the quarterback for New Mexico State, Diego Pavia, he's underrated. He's a great dual threat quarterback. I understand that they're in a small, league, but he is a really good runner, and he's a pretty good passer as well. Liberty's quarterback, Kaidon Salters, is solid also, and they got a great running back, Cooley, with 1,200 yards on the ground, 13 touchdowns. New Mexico State's riding high after the win over Auburn. And there's a possibility if they can keep up that momentum that they can get this win and be able to spoil Liberty's undefeated season. And it's hard to go undefeated. It is very hard to go undefeated, as a team, especially like a group of 5 team. I know you're playing smaller competition, so you would think it's easier, but these teams, there's not much that separates. And Liberty's not that much more talented than New Mexico State, even though they probably have a couple more pieces that are better. But I could definitely see New Mexico State, if they play like they did against Auburn, pulling it off. But I do think that they'll play more like they did against Jacksonville State. I don't think New Mexico State will play as well as they did against Auburn. Liberty, they want to stay undefeated, possibly get the Cotton Bowl slot if things break their way. I'll go with Liberty to beat New Mexico State 31-28, but I'll have New Mexico State covering the spread.
Now, the two teams did play before in Lynchburg, and it was a 33-17 Liberty win. I just wish this was a neutral site, man. I mean, I get it. Liberty had a better record, but I do wish these games, all these conference championship games, were at a neutral site. It's unfortunate.
That's a great point, by the way, Will, because I did see that at Lynchburg, Virginia. I don't know why some of these smaller, conferences do that, where you play on your home field as the better, record team. Like I believe they should have them playing on neutral sites like every other conference. Or if you're going to have it like where the smaller ones play on their own field, you have the bigger conferences playing where the better record team is on their own field. I would rather them all be on neutral, but you have to have it being even continuity. It doesn't make any sense if some conferences are playing on neutral and then some of them are not. But yeah, that's a good point that Liberty beat them already this year, but I think New Mexico State's playing better than they were then.
Yeah. Because they lost to Hawaii as well, New Mexico State did, before going on this long winning streak that they're on now. But I'm going to go with Liberty to win 31-24. I think that they'll get a late touchdown and win it late. But I'm hoping it'll be a good game, even though I don't get CBS Sportsnet, so I'll have to watch on YouTube. But
yeah, it should be a pretty solid game, especially because of the fact that, you know, you talk about two teams that have had good years, Liberty being undefeated, New Mexico State having the win over Auburn, so they have that notoriety. But it's going to be overshadowed big time by the game we're about to be talking about. And it's probably one of those games that people will turn it on until the Oregon-Washington game comes on. And then maybe if it's close, they'll flip it back over just to see what happens at the end before finishing up Oregon-Washington. But it will be a solid game that I will definitely be keeping my eye on. Yeah, homies here saying Liberty a chance to get the New Year's Six spot, or does Toledo get it if Tulane loses? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work, how the rankings are going to shake out. Definitely Liberty has a chance, especially if they go undefeated. They have a chance, but I don't know what the committee's going to do.
I mean, the problem is SMU's 24th, I believe. Toledo's 23rd, and Tulane's 22nd. So I don't know if they can get in over SMU. If it's a dominant victory, maybe. But
well, yeah, definitely the committee's going to take more, you know, of the American teams into account, that they play a bit tougher of a schedule than in Conference USA. The American has more notoriety, even though obviously they lost the teams that they did to the Big 12. It's still a better conference. So, yeah, it's going to be hard for Liberty. I mean, I think they should deserve a look if they win in this game, but I don't know how that's going to work out. It could go a variety of different ways depending on the results. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Comment down below whether you think that New Mexico State or Liberty will win the Conference USA Championship game, and what you think about me and Will and D's pick for this matchup. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.